Hello everyone, my name is Akshaj and I am explaining Python dictionaries. A dictionary stores data in key value pairs. Keys must be unique and immutable, and values can be anything: strings, numbers, lists, or even other dictionaries. For example, we have a small dictionary here called user. On the left, you can see these all are the keys, and these all are the values. As you can see here, you can also find the length of the dictionary using the len function. And to create a new dictionary, you can do from two ways. Either you can directly create using .dict constructor as shown here, and you can also create a dictionary from an existing list as shown here, but remember the lat list should have key value pair tuples, which is really important for creating dictionaries from lists. You can also create an empty dictionary from an empty curly braces as shown here. But remember that this is not for a set, this is for a dictionary. For creating empty set, you have to use the .set constructor rather. You can also access values. You can access values in dictionary in two ways. First one is using the square brackets. For example, if I want to access the name value, I can use name in square brackets for the dictionary and gives me the value for the key. But one issue is that it gives us a key error if that key does not exist. For example, if I want to find the value for the key phone which does not exist in the original dictionary, it would give me a key error. A better way to access is use the .get constructor. It gives us safe access with a decent fallback. For example, I want to get name using the .get function, it will help me get RIA. But for example, if I want phone which is not available, it won't give me an error. It just gives me a none. So this is very helpful for in the future. This is a real life example where we have to read optional fields from an API response. We have an API response dictionary key with a user ID, email, and a plan. And if we want to find the user ID of the API response, we can find it. And if we want to find the avatar which is not available, we can use the .get function and it gives us a default avatar which we mentioned here. You can also, as the values are mutable, you can update and add entries. Just for example, we have a small dictionary here called user which has a name and an age key, and if you want to add a city key, we can add using this way by creating a new key value pair. You can also add email, and you can see the updated dictionary as shown here. You can also update an existing value. For example, if I want to change the age, I can change it using this method by writing like this, and it gives me the new dictionary, updated dictionary as I wanted. What .update function does is it merges another dictionary or another keyword argument in the existing dictionary as shown here. What set default function does is that it adds a key only if it does not exist. For example, I have a country, I want to add a key called country which is missing in the original dictionary, so it adds without an issue. But if I write set default dot name of name key which is already existing, it leaves it unchanged as it already exists as shown here. You can also remove entries of a dictionary by using the del function, what a del function gives us an key error if that value is missing, if the key is missing as shown here. And what pop does is that it removes and returns it with value, which the del function does not. Pop with default raises no key error if that key is missing. As you can see in this example, we have phone. We do not have phone in this original dictionary, but we do not get any key error because we are using the .pop constructor. And what .pop item does is that it removes and returns the last inserted key of the key value pair as shown here. For example, if you want to remove the last entry, we can use .pop item and it will remove the C key. And what .clear does is that it empties the entire dictionary as shown here. Now we'll talk about some essential dictionary methods. 3 views that let us see inside a dictionary. For example, we have a small dictionary called product with name, brand, price, in stock, and rating keys. And if you want to see all the keys, we can use .keys function. If you want to see all values, we can use the .values function. And if you want to see all the key value pairs, we can see using the .items function as shown here. To check if a key exists in a dictionary, you can always use in on keys. For example, if I want to see if price exists in the product dictionary, we can see it using writing price in product. But if you want to check if the discount key exists, which does not exist originally, it will give us false because it does not exist, as you can see here. What copy does is that creates a shallow copy of the original dictionary. We can create a shallow copy using the dot copy constructor as shown here. It creates a new dictionary rather than changing the old one, and leaves the original dictionary unchanged as shown here. Now we'll talk about nested dictionaries. Nested dictionaries are dictionaries inside other dictionaries. They are used everywhere, ranging from read to read APIs and configs. For example, we have a big dictionary called employee records, which have employee numbers, employee codes with their name, role, salary, and skills as shown here. If we want to access with keychains, we can use it using this function. For example, if I want to find the name of employee number code E1042, I can write using this way as shown here. I can also find if I want to find the skills of a particular employee code, I can use finding using this method of nested dictionaries as shown here. I can also write a loop inside a nested dictionary, which is really helpful for creating existing databases. Now we'll talk about dictionary comprehensions. We can build dictionaries in one clean line, just like list comprehensions. This is helpful to create lists quickly. For example, if I want to create a square of numbers, I can create a square dictionary and write the conditions I need and the range the numbers I want, and it creates me a dictionary with squares. So the square of 1 is 1, 2 is 4, and it finds this dictionary like we wanted. You can also add conditions you need using the if function, and you can add only even squares or all squares or any other condition you need. You can do it. We'll talk about a real life example. For example, we want to apply 10% discount on all the products or in our shop. So we have a small dictionary called prices with the values and their of the devices. So if we want to find we want to create a discounted dictionary, we can write a code and give a particular condition we need and return a dictionary, and it gives us the discounted prices. You can also invert a dictionary, which means swapping keys and values using this method, which is really helpful for future use, as you can see. So that is all for the video, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you.